Hello, hello, and welcome back to Minecraft. So last time I put the sheep in here and the lays in this little enclosure because this will be my ethical sheep farm, as I want to call it. So what we have to work on today is, make it functional. So if we shear sheep here, then the pink colored allay will pick up the wool. Perfect. And if we shear this lime colored sheep, and the lime color allay will go and pick up the wool. Okay, so what we have to add today is automatic shearing, but there are some problems, like if we shear this sheep, for example. The blue allay will pick it up, beautiful, but if we were to shear this sheep, now this could be a little troublesome. Why could this be troublesome? Well, because we can't see the allays from here, which means that vice versa, the allays can't see us so well. The orange one saw us because it flew up a little higher right now. But if we, go and drive this to the extreme and we throw this wool block, this white wool here, well, the allays can't see us at all, even if they fly up very high. So we have to basically dig out some sight lines. But first we sleep so we can get rid of this rain. It's been bothering me for a while already. Right, so we do have to adjust the terrain in here a little bit. So that's what we'll do right now. So what are the requirements? So the requirements are basically that from here you can see every block in here. So that would mean that we take this down a little bit at least. This here. So we, for example, do something like this roughly. Take down the top layer, I would say, definitely here. Should be helpful. And then we take down a bit of this. That should be helpful. Okay. Now we can see here a lot better. That's good. Maybe we can shave this back a bit more. Even. Something like that. Something like that. Okay. So now it is a bit more visible. And also, do this. Don't know why my thing is still a bit messed up. My game, but whatever. You can't always get what you want. So we shave this down a bit. Should be helpful. Okay. Like so. Looks a lot better already. Great. Great. It's just great, I tell you. Right. So up there we're fine-ish, probably, if we take... Okay, like, what the fuck, man? Okay, we should be fine if we take out some wool, like the pink one. And we throw it up here. Let's see. The pink one does come pretty quickly. That is nice. And he's stuck in the fence. That's actually kind of bad. Okay, he made it back. We're good. And a white one here. Does the white one see this? It does. Okay, so this is good already. This is better. Okay. This is better. Okay, okay, okay. So now the real issue. Okay, we need line of sight. So we cut this down a bit. Now, if we put some here, that's like one of the major issues, I would say. This area right here. So we probably have to bring this all up a little bit. Or bring this down majorly. Is that the pink one right there? Because if it is, it should. Yeah, it is. So are we too far away from the node block here? So if we are, then, well, we can't really fix that. Except, you know, move the fence in a little bit, maybe. Can the pink one see this? I mean, not right now. Okay. So yeah, so we do definitely need to cut down this a bit. So yeah, I'll continue to make, you know, some adjustments to the sight lines here. So the LAs have like at least a chance to see it. See everything from here. So we'll have to adjust some of those sight lines. And once I've done that, I'll be back with the finished product, I would say. Yes, it's a good plan right there. Okay, so I changed up the sight lines quite significantly, I would say. We now have a bit of a more gentle hill here that goes up a bit towards, you know, this larger hill. And slopes down a bit more gently. Now they should get a lot of the items now, not all of them. Of course, not all of them. There's some edge cases where they will basically never get them. Like if we take something like this, for example, that's the right item, which is like right underneath the block. And you know, he has to it's this one. The lime one has to come like real close, but usually, you know, there'll be some other lime item that's a bit of easier to see. You know, there we go, he sees it. Then he picks that one up, and then on the way back, he'll see that as well, is the idea. Basically, we're kind of depending on luck, so he'll find these ones pretty easily. These ones are very visible. You know, I made sure. I mean, these ones, if they're far away from the edge, they're always very visible. So like here, we'll see this very soon. It will take him a couple seconds. Maybe he just has to get these ones in first. You know, and then he has to fly back, look around a little bit, and he'll find these items again. There we go. So yes, so this side works. I see like sometimes they throw it on. Wait a minute. Do they have a minecart under the node block? I do. Why are you not doing your work, minecart? Okay, now it worked pretty easily. Okay. So this is this side, which was always the easier side. We also have here, which is where like the most significant change. So now if I drop it in this hole, somewhat in the center still though, but in the hole, then they will see it and come fly down and pick it up more reliably. Even here somehow, somewhat behind the tree, sees it, picks it up, you know, a lot more reliably. Now I just used all of them, so we can use you. Even here, very much at the edge already. This might be, we might also have to bring in the fence in a couple spots. In a couple spots we might be outside detection range still. You know, which is a problem. No, but he gets it, see? Got it, he's picking it up. So if we see the red one, as this should be easily within the detection range. The red LA. Well, if it's right on the edge like Setsu is a bit questionable. There he goes. Picks up. Okay, so now, same for the blue. Picks it up. There we go. Okay, now all we have to do, this one's very, you know, questionable right there in the corner. But he comes and picks it up. The real questionable section is actually this one. Because there's a lot of mountains still here on my right. So depending on, you know, we'll observe it if a lot of wool piles up here. We might have to do something about that. But yeah, it works mostly. I mean, this would already kind of work. You can just run through here, see your sheep, you know, and hope the LA pick up most of the items. Which they seem to do. So you could have such a wool farm, right? Which works, as I said, it does work. I mean, the purple one might be a bit in trouble there. Oh no, oh, that's magenta, wrong color. Wait, it is the right color? You're magenta? You're magenta, actually. Okay, interesting. Looks very purple. This, I mean, I guess the lighting's not that good. So yeah, they pick up most of the items, throw them in. Good. Now this is like the least you expect from a wool farm. So even if your inventory is a mess like mine, it still works. Okay, so we have to put in some dispensers in the ground. Now the question is how many? How densely do we pack them? We do want a lot of grass to remain, so they can eat their grass. My sheep, that is important. And we also, yes, don't want it to look too regular. Like, we don't want an actual, you know, like grid pattern. Like if we say in a 3x3, we have 3 dispensers. So it would be, you know, 1 in 3 blocks is a dispenser. Then they still have a lot of grass to eat. Then this looks ugly if it's way too regular, you know? So we might want something more like, I don't know, make it a little less of an actual pattern. You know, we still do want to cover most of the blocks. So we would have to go with something like, I don't know, I suppose, something random, essentially, is what we want. Or we could put 1 per 9 blocks, you know, because if then the next one would be here. If the sheep stands here, it doesn't get sheared. If it's here, though, anyway, it does get sheared. You know, this is like the question. But if we do it like this, if they overlap a little bit, then the sheep that stands here is basically guaranteed to get sheared, because it always pokes out a little bit. Then we have the problem that it would be a very regular grid. So yeah, the dispenser layout will have to be studied. And also one more thing we can do to easily make, you know, it a bit more likely that we do get wool is we just increase the number of sheep. So I'll be breeding up some sheep, getting probably also some bone meal, so we can grow some of the grass in here again, and some more flowers. And I'll get a lot of dispensers. And we'll think about how to place them in here. Because then we have a well-functioning, well, not well, but a functioning wool farm. I mean, it functions already, manually. But I would like it to function automatically as well. So let me go up to the portal, go up to my base and get some stuff. And then I'll be right back. That was a pretty good landing, actually. Okay, so I put down some bone meal. You know, sprinkled some bone meal around to get some more flowers and some grass. I think it looks okay. And, you know, maybe this could use some other flowers. But those are, you know, details. I might also want to add like another tree. Maybe, you know, at the edge there. Because trees inside are a little bad because they cut off the sight lines for the allays. Maybe outside a little tree that hangs over a bit so we have some shade here. Maybe I want some water going down here, like a little, you know, water stream or something, but those are all for later, I would say. What I want to do now is get this thing functional. And to do that, we're going to need a lot of these guys. Dispensers, and I'll also use some droppers. Now what I'll do with these is we'll just, you know, start with some level. So here probably. We just dig down 2. Then we put dropper and then dispenser. Now the reason we put the dropper underneath is that this dispenser now is level with the ground. Which means if we put a moss carpet on top, we have no way of accessing it, you know? But we can still access the dropper from underneath. Right? So if we ever have to fill this up, we can just use a dropper to fill it up. Yes, and now we just continue this. We do dropper, dispenser. And I think, you know, 3 space is fine. We'll just spam it, essentially. We'll just be spamming it. The activation of these guys. So that's how I tested it in creative. 3 should be fine. 3 spaces in between should be fine. So I'll now carry this on for, you know, most of this area, which is going to be, you know, fun, as they say. We'll just do this, yes? And I'll be back once I run out of dispensers or once I've placed them all. You know, one of those 2 things will happen. Then I'll be happy. Now this is a bit bad usually to have it right at the edge. But, you know, the wool does pop off, so it could pop up here and then they see it well again. You know, we just have to wait and see how it goes. So yes, let me place down all these guys. And I will be back once I'm out of them. Yes. Does this one even work? Can I place this one here? I think so. Should be fine. Should be fine. You can place this one here. Like this as well. Okay, yes. So I'll place them down. And then when I'm back, we'll think about how to power them all. Because we need like a clock or something probably. Power them. Yes. So that's the plan for right now. To get this functional. We have to just place down a field of dispensers. Should be easy. Enough, I would say. Should be very, very simple. So I'll do that. As I have already said 100 times or something like that. I mean, I've only said it 3 times or so. I'll do it, and now I'll actually do it. So, till later. So, after having placed 2 stacks of dispensers here, as you can see, I don't have any more dispensers. I have 11 droppers left. I have come to the realization that this might have been a bad idea. But this kind of wolf farm, I mean, look at this. Will this work? Sure. Just have to cover the rest of here, which is like maybe less than a quarter. And then all of this, the other half. Yes. I'll probably need like 6 or, you know, something. 6.5 stacks of dispensers in total. I've placed 2, so we have to craft up the other 4. And a bit stacks, 4 or 5 stacks. Yeah, then I mean, if we go with this, we also probably have to like double the amount of sheep we have. Make this worthwhile. Because as you can see right now, this is pretty empty, but there are a lot of sheep there. So if we like double this amount of sheep, you know, so it makes it worth it. But you know, crafting the dispensers pretty easily. I mean, let's just show you. Just take out the firework rocket, go through this portal, up here, into my beautiful base, which, I mean, it's okay. It's not the best base. Yes, it's an okay looking base, obviously. I made it okay. I mean, this tunnel, you know, well, this time, we have like infinite time. Well, not infinite. Till I'm dead, I suppose. Okay. Frame drops, which means we're at my base. Which is also why we are not building the sheep farm here. Yeah, it was bad. Let's give it a couple seconds. Okay, there we go. So here at my base, we still have this little thing set up. You know, which crafts us dispensers if we set it up to craft dispensers. So all we need is some cobblestone. With some cobblestone, I mean a lot of cobblestone. A lot more cobblestone. I mean, thankfully, I do still have a lot of stone, which is good. Okay, so we would do this. And we need some redstone. Dust. There we go. Now we just need a shulk box of bows. For which, I mean, let's get rid of some of this dirt. Very sloppily. Which you need some emeralds to get the bows. I mean, I showed this last... was it last episode? I think it was last episode. I showed this. Just get some emeralds here. From these lovely villagers. I threw my pumpkins in there. Oh well. We don't have that much space right now. Now we have more space. Get some emeralds from these guys, pretty simply. It's a cookie. We don't want to buy the cookie right now. Just do something like that. Throw these back in here for now. And we visit our villager here. Now this would go a little quicker. Fit more of these. And, well, we also don't have a lot of space. It's the other problem. We just buy his bows. Just like that. Then we wait a little bit till he refreshes. No, but we can just then take this shulker box. Yeah, right now I put a chest there. Because I didn't have the shulker box last time. There we go. And then we just put need bow shulker box on top. And we get dispensers. Yes, pretty simple stuff. So I'll do that. I'll get up more dispensers, more droppers as well. And we might need more observers as well to power this whole operation. So I might need more. Well, I might not need more quartz. I just have to put these down and mine them probably. Yes. So that's the plan. I just make more bows. So, and then I'll be back once we have them. Yes. Okay, and just like that, as you can see, I am done. And I have to say, this might have been one of the stupidest things I've ever done. I mean, just look at this. It's a field of dispensers as far as the, well, not as far as the eye can see, but in this little area here, we have a field of dispensers, which, you know, is good. Now, the only thing is that we have to be able to activate those periodically, for which we need a clock. Now, we do have this, which goes like about once every second. Now, I don't think I want to activate all of these guys once every second. That might be bad. Okay, so maybe I'll even, you know, change up how this here works, this clock. I have to think about this though, because we do need the hoppers underneath to be able to pick up things. Is important. But I mean, we could activate you with a observer. Technically, put an observer here that powers you. So then we would need to power this block here somehow. So we could put... what could we put there? In another node block, but that's just stupid. Because we want this minecart underneath the node block, that's important. Right. So we can pick up items that fall on top of the node block. Like so. Which it doesn't right now for some reason. Am I stupid? Am I an idiot? Wasn't this picking up items? Am I stupid? That works. That works. That works. That works. Why doesn't this work? Am I stupid? Like, even that guy works. Oh. But why doesn't this work? Don't I have a... Wait a minute. I mean, I have the hopper minecart underneath it, as you can see. Shouldn't this work? Am I stupid? Do I not know how this works? Is it because it's powered constantly? But if it was powered constantly, then so would, you know, these would also be locked. So all in all, I don't know why this hopper minecart isn't picking up anything on top of the node block. But I mean, if it's not picking up the things on top of the node block, we don't even need to worry about this, you know? Like, if we just remove this, it should work the exact same way? Or do I need a rail here? Is that the problem? Do I need the rail back here? Hey, maybe that's the problem. And I don't know how minecarts work. I mean, I thought I did. I have my chest somewhere else. That's the fortune pickaxe. Okay. There it is. Okay, so if we take a rail, right? Put this here. Put the minecart on the rail. If I throw something on top of it, now it gets picked up. Okay. So I was just missing the rail, maybe. Okay, I mean, good to know. So we leave the rail, which does complicate other things. Or, alternatively, you just forget about this. You know? The rail underneath here, the minecart underneath this, we just forget about this, right? Like this. Now if we take some wool parts, doesn't really matter which ones. We just check, you know, we just do some blue, go on blue alley, picks them up, and he throws them here. Okay, now this is the scenario we don't want. They land on the note block. This is exactly what I feared. I had feared is that they would land on the note block. Okay, so we do need there's the villagers again. We do need something underneath the note block, would be very important. But they are very good at landing it on the note block, aren't they? They are quite good at that, actually. Aren't they? Okay, I mean, that's good to know. So we do... Sorry. We do put the hopper back here. We put the rail back here. We put you on the rail. Okay. So we might be able to get rid, like the one at the back. Well, that maybe not that one. Maybe not the ones at the side either. Maybe we can get rid of this one. You know, put an observer there. I don't know. Or we just leave this top section the way it is. We can do that. Then we need to figure out a clock for down here. That activates the dispensers every once in a while, like maybe every couple seconds. Or some such amount of time. How do we make a good clock like this? It doesn't have to be that fancy, I would say. It just has to function. I don't have that much redstone material. Oh no, I should. What do we have in here? Ah, yeah, we don't have stone. Which is like an issue. Wrong way. Okay, so I'll get some more redstoning stuff, I suppose, is the plan. And then I make a little clock in there. And yeah, because I don't think I have anything. Yeah, I mean, we have you. Could smelt some of this, I suppose. I mean, that villager zombie's just gonna die before he gets to me. Just hope. Yeah, just hope that. See? Okay. That doesn't give you that many sticks, though. Just give me a couple. Well, maybe a couple more. Torches. Of the redstone, where I don't have quartz, though. Right. Right. We do not have quartz. I want to make clock. We want to make like a clock. A clock. Without a comparator, it's gonna be a bit tricky. We can make a repeater. Even 2 of them. Yeah, I'll get some redstone stuff, I suppose. And we make the clock. And then we see how we power these things. Yes. All these dispensers and such. So let me do that really quick. Okay, I'm back with some stuff. Now we just have to see where the center of this whole thing is. Because from the center, we do want to then technically go up. So the center would be right here. Okay, that was a little... Well, this can work though. We can go up here. 1, and we can go up here. 1. Okay. Great. So this would be placed... Where would this be placed? Planning. Okay, so this would have to be here, which means that this has to go here. Yeah, so the plan is essentially to have an activator rail, or, you know, another rail. I'm just using activator rail because it's a bit cheaper to build than the, you know, powered rail. So we would do this. And then up here, I mean, it would also be up here, shouldn't it? Oh, it's 1 over, obviously. Yeah. It's here. We have these guys, right? The dropper dispenser combo. And now, if I take out where did we go? Didn't I have my chest here? Am I stupid? That's over there. Misplaced it. Misplaced my chest. My shulker box, I mean, specifically. Okay. Just dump some stuff here for now. Take this with me. Okay. Bam. Now that does mean, unfortunately, that, well, I'll do it first and then I'll finish that thought. So we can then take out one of these guys, the observers, right? And if we just have the observer look at you, it does look at it. Now if we trigger this, I don't remember how far they go. If we trigger this, it triggered this here, which we can very easily see if we just put a gravel in there. Now the gravel is gone. As you can see, it's up there now. And we wouldn't want to be putting gravel in here, we'll put shears in here. So whenever this gets activated or deactivated, it will shoot out a nice, well, it will shear a sheep, if there's a sheep. So unfortunately, that means that I will have to get as many observers as I have droppers and dispensers here, which are what's it used? Which are, let me see, I mean it's not high up at this point, which is good. Which are, I've placed 600 hoppers. What was it doing? Which are about 400. That's pretty nice. Really like about 400 observers, and we're at, it's like 180, 192. Yeah, so twice 6 stacks of observers for this, which is why I said, which I already said multiple times, that this was a terrible idea, ladies and gentlemen. This might just be one of the worst ideas I have ever had. But anyway, let's build the stupid clock already. Okay, so this stupid clock will be built pretty simply by, well, we want the rail to go here, so we go one down with the stupid clock. We might even want to go down, well, we should use that one, because I may or may not have run out of cobblestone entirely. You know, so this is helpful, at the very least. Okay, then we want this block to be triggered by an observer. But we also want... Well, we have to see. Well, one rail's going stretch this way. And the question is, do we have the rails always going this way? Probably. Or would it also be smart to trigger multiple? But how would you go about this? They have 3. You're always going to need 1 observer per this thing. Anyway, just this is probably the cheapest way to do this. So this will then just run across the entire meadow field here we have set up. And it will be great. Will be wonderful. I hope. Okay, so we do this. This might have been one too little. It's fine though. We only have 4. But I can make more. Oh yeah, I remembered. I also picked up this emerald ore while I was doing my stuff down here. Do this. Then we place... Well, we need 1 more redstone. It's a little awkward. Alice, can you go back up, please? You're not supposed to be down in the bowels of the machinery. You see, then we do this, and then we do this. Then we do this, and then we can turn this on. It's a bit fast, as of yet. Something like that. I would shear. I would shear again. Shear. Shear. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's about 5 seconds, so it's fine. We're kind of relying on randomness, if we're being honest here. So we do this, and we place this back. Now it would activate once every 5 seconds, roughly. Okay. Good. Now, the next order of business would be to make space so I can reach them all. Also think about how we're transferring the signal. So this is going to be like the loudest farm ever made. But, you know, that's fine, right? Isn't it? Isn't that fine? This is going to be the loudest farm ever made. Anyway, this should have really help out with my cobblestone shortage, I think. So that's going to be great. Yeah, and I mean, activator rails are just iron. We have a farm for that. Sticks, we have a farm for that. And redstone. We have, well, we kind of have indirectly have a farm for that as well. So I can get infinite activator rails to carry the signal. Now, how far do they carry it again? I always forget. Powered rails. This would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty far. These should be... Here's the next one. So we would then do... well, we would go down one, actually. Well, it doesn't really matter. We went up, we go down somewhere. It's gonna be fun, you know, is what I'm saying. Now this one will get activated. Then we carry this on. For all of it. The whole thing. You know? Then here we would have to go down one. Pick this out. We dug too far and broke the torch. Which is unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, that's like one of the dangers. You can just break torches pretty easily. Nope. Nope. Like that. Yes. Place this on top. Place it off the flower. Okay. So yeah. We be digging to make this functional. Which, you know, I am thinking is quite the mammoth task, isn't it? Okay, and here we break. Here the signal does not continue, so you just do this. Wrong item. So just do this. You know? And you do this. Yeah. That's a pretty simple way of carrying a signal over longer distances. Yes. So this is my life now, I suppose. Can you LAs get out of here? Please. I'm really gonna have to wall off this whole section, okay? Just get out. Just go out. Just leave. Leave! Okay. Why do they like going down there? Anyway, so yeah, now these couple here trigger already. This one as well, I think. Yes. So, as you can see, we have to dig out this whole region. Which will give me plenty of cobblestone. Which will then let me craft even more observers. To do stuff. Yes, I mean, we can just quickly... I do have it here, actually. Oh yeah, not even mentioning the, like... 9 times 400 shears, you know. I'm not even going to mention those yet. But, you know, basically, you can just do this for a couple of those. Then if a lucky sheep, just like that, would walk over it in the right moment, it will get sheared and the item would get deposited in there. Yes, and as I said, this will be the loudest farm ever made. Probably. I would guess so. This will be the loudest farm ever made. Yes. Good. But it will be mine, my farm. I mean, I just need like 3 more stacks of observers, or like 4 more stacks of observers, and we should be fine. And then I have to dig a hole. A lot of holes. Maybe. Well, a lot of area has to get dug out, is what I'm trying to say. Yes, so I'll be digging here, I guess, for the next couple hours. Should be fun. Then we should have a fully functioning, very bad wool farm. Isn't that great? Isn't that wonderful? Exactly what you ordered. There we go. Oh yeah, this is why we have droppers down here. Where are my frames? This is why we have the droppers down here. Because you cannot access the dispenser from every spot. So sometimes you can. And like here you can't. So you could put the shears in here. You have to refill them. to send them up. Yes, that's the plan for this. So I will be doing this, and then next episode we can start off with a functional wool farm. Then we just have to add in some finishing touches, I would say. Sounds good, right? Does sound good to me, at least. So I will be digging, and I will be crafting like a billion more dispensers. Not dispensers, observers. We already crafted a billion, but observers are easier. Craft, I mean, you just need 6 stacks of, you know, quartz or whatever. Shouldn't be too hard to get my hands on. That stuff, yes. So this is how we power this line. Then we have to think, how do we transfer over to the next line? But that's pretty simple. Just put an observer, like going from here over to here. Where we have the next line. So it's the next line. So we would then have stone here. Then we would just have, well, you would be one down actually. So we would have this. We would have you watching this. So now we just need to get a signal from here to here. It's as easy as doing this. Now you also trigger. You know? And then from here can trigger the whole, you know, line here. Similarly, like this. If you were to do all of this with redstone dust, it would be a little questionable, maybe. In terms, well, it would be more resource efficient. But too much redstone dust all at once, the game sometimes doesn't like it too much. It's the wrong way. So yeah, so we will be going with activator rails, which are pretty nice. And this is also the stupidest wool farm anybody's ever built, which is good, you know, because sometimes you don't just want to copy everything. Oh yeah, then here we would have to make a little peeking hole. So we can actually access the dropper here, like this. I mean, we should be getting close to the edge. Ah yes, as I said. That's the edge. Already? So this should be the last one here, right? Yes. Okay. So do you reach here? Ah, barely not. That's a little... Can I do this in one dispenser? So the dispenser needs to go into you, though, which is the issue. Need to strongly power this here. I don't think so. It's just an observer. It's not the biggest deal. Bam. Bam. Okay, and this whole line up to this point is functional, which is appreciated. We have some, so I know where we go in and out. There we go. Some moss block, please. Yeah, so this whole line up to here is hooked up to the collection. So we just have to go this way, and this way, and this way, and the whole circle has to get dug out. And we have to place like a billion of these guys. This is going to be the most resource, you know, heavy farm. It will be very not functional. Not very quick, not very functional. But it will be funny to do. It will be very funny to do it, I will say. Okay, just mark this. We're going back next time. So yeah, I think I've done enough for this. This episode took long enough to come out already. You know the plan. The plan is to make all of them very noisy. All these dispensers. So, shoot a sheep. Let's fucking go. Shoot another sheep. The orange one's coming. It's picking it up. It's picking up the other orange. And it's throwing it at the not block. Oh, and it's gone. Okay. Oh my god, it works. I mean... And I've only like filled up 5 of these with shears. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's already producing wool. Maybe it's not a bad farm, you guys. Maybe it's a good farm. Like imagine, all of them would get sheared. And we're going to increase the number of sheep as well. Okay, I mean, this might actually work. I think. Like this guy, if he goes here, he's gonna get sheared. This might work. This might also be a lot of work, is the other problem. Okay. Enough of this. Is gonna be a pain to edit it anyway already, this video. But we tried something new. You know, we used DLA, which I think are underutilized, generally speaking. And we made a... well, it's pretty ugly right now. I mean, it's also gonna be ugly if we cover all of this in moss carpet, isn't it? Maybe we have to mix it up a bit, add some blue. Not blue, wrong color. Green. Green carpet could look good. Lime carpet, we'll see. Cover him up. Maybe we don't even cover all of them. Okay, my game's dying. For a second there. We had some skipped frames, whatever. Yeah. I think, well, that's next episode. Next episode we'll do the finishing touches here. Yeah. Maybe add some water, which I don't know where I would add the water. We have way too many. But we can take out some dispensers again. If we put in water. You know, if we put in like here. A little lake or whatever where they can drink. Some water. Then we can take out these dispensers. You know, a couple of them. And put the lake in there. Something like that. A tree here or a tree there. I don't know. We'll see. Something like that. Those are the finishing touches. Yes, so till next episode, I'll make all of them trigger. And fill them with shears, I suppose. It's gonna be annoying. And then I'll see you with the finished product in the next episode. Goodbye. Till then.